So I'm back again after like 4 days. I've seen the Backrooms movie. It's okay. I didn't hate it. Didn't love it. I mean, I liked it. It wasn't a bad movie. Very confusing. No. That's all I'll say about that. Now then, let's begin. Right. Sorry, I had to find my eye drops real quick. Okay. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school with privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years in tradition, it sends the cream crop into the workforce every year. It is built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. And in front of this mega awesome school full of mega ultimates, no ordinary student could ever enroll. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of this ultimate school filled with ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zunk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Wasn't in any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on around here? Ah! Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body started to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside of a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was way too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must have been some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. What was the beginning? But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First step was to start looking for a way out of here. Maybe this door with a key on it. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked it in, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day I had to have passed, and all I did was sleep and sleep. It's like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell in the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. Crunch. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched out my hand to hold toward whatever was in that had tumbled down here with me. Are they back again? It's been... I carefully stretched out my hand toward whatever... I already did this line right.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Oh well, she did the line great. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing a lot better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage on your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then it faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat. We'll talk once you're finished. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making my way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep moving. So you still haven't given up, then? Of course not! After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. I think the next bit has a lot of talking. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay debt, and no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew, that you knew, that I knew?
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I...
abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, so I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. What was it? Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. What was it? So you have a reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible!
Huh?
Amnesia? What the fuck? This is weird. Then is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived in the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and then when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what could make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plan. So the mastermind just stole them for you.
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into a missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me, the ultimate average guy like me, could be the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Oh, is Makoto the mastermind? Yeah! Just the dream I had before, but... Why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah. It's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just... I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I've never asked for your help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think it's just her personality. You said it a reason for doing all that, investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for, is I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. Mukumo Saba? What? No. You had to find someone. Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child, as it turns out. He became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? And that explains... When Alterigo told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I fudge it, this was a long time ago. I'll find a way.
Huh?
Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on?
I...
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when you said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. Yeah, that makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I've seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk was dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. You found it in the headmaster's room I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuo's profile on that key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms that were meant for facility use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster and mastermind, different people, really did have a private room there?
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean? It's hard to describe. All I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is a lot more horrific than we've ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
Of course, once I got to the... which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukumo Saba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means... Everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial Mukumo Saba... The class trial of Mukumo Saba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I saw that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to freely explore Hope Speak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use a class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the masterminds themselves are somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikosaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school. Watch out for her. What's that? There was a point at which Mukuro may have not become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. It could have been you, Makoto! I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night?
I
Can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the doors and had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away as I followed it. I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
Kyoko? I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to Mukuro Ikosa. Whoever the master assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all had to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro was also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but it seemed they were ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means the mastermind's the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. A tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're
indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all this evil that has forced us to go. They're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Our real enemy. Oh, was that the end of the 5th chapter? Oh my gosh, what a long chapter. That's all for this episode. 18 minutes in. You received the Dream Island rocket present. Dream Island rocket. Yeah. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world? The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity? Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now
Anyway,
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Talk to Kyoko. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of installing the mastermind. I would never part with it. It can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on the door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open the door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design and slid it into the keyhole, and then... Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made an escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. That's all 6 of them. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea that we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. Now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work was in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do whatever we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. Oop. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect that pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There's something I want to say to him, though. What?
No
matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? Last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling. Or I could tell that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of the family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, just to cut them out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? I'm connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is
Indeed.
it. On the other side of the door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain this is where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. And it didn't open, shit. What was stuck? Up! The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. I'm tired, I'm gonna go back down. What? No. We just climbed like a 30-mile ladder, dude. You know, I know, but I'm not ready for the school. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly was safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. Ugh. Nothing's necessary. I was just returning the favor. Cool. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try and hide, there's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at a nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out of getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry, whatever you think is going to happen isn't.
Because...
The mastermind's the one that's ensnarled. The mastermind is ensnarled? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. Still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. To the gym! It's not that far, it's just to left, right. I know the school better than my own house. It's a joke. I probably know it better than my actual school. Because, like, there's parts of that school I've never been to. The Backrooms by Kane Pixel. A fine movie. I want 16 more sequels, and if we don't get any, I'll kill them. I will kill Kane Pixels. That's a threat and a promise.
Well now.
Hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought you'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
Pung.
You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So if I did, what will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
Now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose.
Hey!
You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen to lose the placard and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial was not at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You may realize that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come out to our aid even after you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blacken is exposed, then Elon will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose. You talk a big game. You're saying the Blacken is me and not Makoto.
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try and bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth.
Boom, boom.
Now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
Makoto really was the killer. He never would have never would have come to you willingly like this. He would fear for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me, in the absence of evidence.
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto, now everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume you killed him because that's what I said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making all this up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have to
then
do.
I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So type in bear jokes. Now then, what you suggested might be possible, but it would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that's enough to convict you and the viewers, right? And it was called you unbearable despair, right? I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will you help out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely
Let's have one final
contain
grisly
myself.
showdown. You agree? We still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is a long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing killer's barely a fitting
You
end.
guys!
So for this final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely
then that'll be
contain
enough to
myself.
qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? I'm excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we uncover every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that rule, that for sure, for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And that's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations? Just have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I've told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 high school students. What?
Listen,
Are you telling the truth? Why'd it go quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad?
whew,
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay? Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it. I could barely believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
whew,
Still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because,
It's all because of that one moment the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was that? When was it that the mastermind let down their guard? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I did this
so,
line. I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
And what did you think that when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking the over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, it's the kind of extremely different thing that's extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. Must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason.
so,
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
it would seem,
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but by forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
The mastermind's ultimate goal is to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
For those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wanted the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, is the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing nobody but those who would call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. The group's only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet it's the same motivation which led to the mastermind to revealing their weakness. What?
in other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the entire world. The mastermind has to be more particular than reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored this rule, it wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least that's how those who were watching this would have seen it. So that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial following all the proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer. They made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion
Indeed.
to prove to the world that despair is better than hope. They have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm them to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got the chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident the moment we decided to talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is fundamentally part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Well, everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no other option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our enemy really is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Right now, we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Yes, let's leave. Nah, what do you mean, nah? I'm not gonna do the investigation. Yes, Hero, you have to help. No. He just refuses to cooperate. I'd rather live in... I've grown accustomed to these walls. I feel like I'm gonna puke. Anyways. Yeah. Do we just knock on the door? There's Kyoko's. There's Kiyotaka. Is it? Sayaka, Byakuya. No, it's not alphabetically. That was weird. Oh, Byakuya! This is Byakuya's room. Is he inside?
Hey,
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. The gym? No, the lunchroom. Right? And suddenly we were greeted with... You again. SPR-13! Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limits. 864 some said 61! Jeez, what the heck?
however,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone's there. All my friends who struggled together and survived. And Byakuya. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away! Shoo! Shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up. Who do I talk to? Ugh, you stink. Are you rotten?
I'm telling
Rotten
you.
physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. The smell is just so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for some reason. What about Byakuya? What do you... Oh,
Yo.
Makoto, what it was like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
You know?
Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Silo. No, I didn't talk to. I mean, I did go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Silo? What is that noise? He seems genuinely surprised that he's still alive. I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped your execution? It was alter ego. You saved my life.
That's right.
Not too many people can say they've had their life saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. So what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured then since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And? No dice, all the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So there wasn't any new areas. Where can we go to find new clues? I don't know, what do you think, Kyoko?
Makoto,
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
it's true.
That's related with what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed him, right? No, I didn't do it. I can keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying that the mastermind killed Mokumo?
That's right.
That's right, it was all in a rapid trap conceived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? Make it sound like it was easy, just,
however,
But executing Makoto who wasn't the Blackened is a clear violation of school rules. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went out and negotiated with them to have a trial one more time.
Huh?
Ugh. And the mastermind agreed. Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain some of the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of last trial. You said now that the mastermind is installed, that's what you're referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again, later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Huh?
Every last mystery?
But
We've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh!
Everyone?
I hate you.
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without taking up with the rest of us? It's fine with things the way they are. I'll fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other
Interesting.
words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But
Figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Mukuro, and all the school mysteries. It's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but the time for the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh?
I
Can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough bear puns. Anyways, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people taking a single step in Hope Speak since the killing game began are those 16 high school students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? And Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh?
But why?
So, in other
If
words,
the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak Academy are the 16 students who've been taking part in this killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add it in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
that's right.
And one of those 16 people we started out with, only one still alive, are the people standing here right now. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. Mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be in a high school. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe he snuck off and controlled them in secret.
but...
I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Maybe Monokuma's on autopilot. Maybe they wrote all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Okay, oh my gosh. I drink way too much water. Yeah, you guys got that problem? Drinking too much water? Man. Oh, fudge me. Okay, yeah. Who did I threaten earlier again? I didn't threaten... Who did I threaten? Travis Scott, your contests have killed people. Hashtag... Sorry, dude. Lol. Okay, that's awful.